everybody, thank you so much for joining me here. I'm super excited to be with you on this Friday. Of course, happy Friday. Today I'm rocking my Adobe Live swag. I'm super excited to be part of this community. So welcome to all of you to today's challenge recap. We spent 2 weeks together having fun and diving into Illustrator in order to learn new techniques and sharpen your skills with my challenges that we have done together. And if you're just jumping into the stream right now, which is of course available live on both behance.net/live and also on the amazing Adobe Live YouTube channel, you will be able to, of course, join me live. I'm going to recap and show some of the challenges, but do not worry. Every single challenge, both videos and files, are available for you to still watch on a replay and to download at any time. So feel free right now if you want to follow along with me. There is a little bit of the delay in the chat, so before I jump into the full recap, I want to give you an heads up. If there is something that I'm showing in the general recap that you really are super keen to look during the stream, take advantage of your presence here during the live, and do let me know in chat what you liked, what you maybe didn't understand, what you want to have a look at. Also, we're going to jump into Discord. So if you're already taking part to the challenges, make sure to take a moment to upload your work. So I will be able to have do a quick review and see what people in the amazing Discord community have shared. Now, before we jump into my screen, I want to say hello to everybody that is here with us. Paloma, Robert, Sam, Frank, thank you so much for joining us here. Happy Friday. Sam Peterson, as usual, been super helpful, has already shared in the chat the link that I'm about to jump on, which is our challenge main page, the landing page for challenges on Behance. So behance.net/challenge/Illustrator, and then also the Discord, which is going to be just right there. Let me go ahead and share with you, first of all, the page, and then the Discord, so you can see it with me and we can have a look at it together. So if I jump into my screen right here, you should be able to see the Discord, which is here. So is bit.ly/AI Discord. That is the place, and it should be just right here below me. Here it is. For you to display your work in order to get the review and in order to see it /alongside the community. And the landing page that we're talking about, it's over here. So is the behance.net/challenge/Illustrator. That is the landing page that allows you, first of all, to click on the blue button. So whenever you take a challenge, you're not committing to anything. You're just going to get reminded that it's time to get challenged inside Adobe Illustrator. So that's what you're doing. So I would strongly recommend you to click on the blue button, which will display your name. All you have to do is to head on Behance and then make sure that you have your Adobe ID, which is simply an email that you can log in with. So you can see I've been logged in with my own email, and here break it down also the way it works. So you receive the challenge right away in your inbox or in your notification, and you can join the community chat during the live. In this case is me. I know that there is another amazing challenge coming up next week, so you might want to go ahead and click on the button to be reminded from Monday. And of course, you can watch the live show and share your work in the Discord community. I'm going to share the link of the Discord community one more time. I can do it towards the end of the stream as well. So again, it's bit.ly/AI Discord. Here it is, just right here. So make sure to share your work so you can get feedback, you can inspire others. Don't be afraid, even if you have not fully finished your work. That is a great opportunity for everybody to learn together. Your questions, your feedback, your work can be as an inspiration for someone else that is part of the community, or maybe it can be an inspiration for you to just pivot and either completely change your work, or maybe you just want to ask for some help, and we have our lovely mentor that are there. Since I'm talking about Discord, it might be as well a good time to jump inside Discord. And you can see that we have some of the challenges that are already there, which is super cool. So this is part of the branding, how to use social media to display in branding elements. Then we have some of the geometrical logo here with the tulips. Let's see, more geometrical logo with the geometrical design and the tulip, and even a little piggy. I love this one, Tishan. Super cool. Instagram presentation, again from Tishan, and we have textures. What else is going on? More Instagram presentation, more geometric logos. Super cool. I love how you use the curve as well, create a pattern. Enhancing pictures with vectors, more logos. Oh, I love this pixelation here. Then we have done, I think that's the plant one, I think. Yes, so let's go ahead and have a look at the actual challenges. We've done 3D. There's so much stuff going on. So let's go ahead and start from the file. So if I go ahead, actually, let me jump real quick first into the page so you can see the challenges. And I'm going to go one by one. But then again, if there is anything here that you're seeing, feel free to use the chat to say, hey, Kladi, I really want to review the 3D and 2D composition. Hey, Kladi, I really want to see the logo presentation. So whatever you prefer. Or maybe work in this color. I think that was really, really interesting. There was a foundation stream where I showed you how to create a mosaic using any photo in order to extract the color palette from any image you have. But let's start from challenge number 1, creating a portal and get ready to be teleported. So let's go ahead and see. That was our final design. I'm gonna see in the chat in the meantime if there is any question. Pixie's not ready for the shoe on the other foot. I think I missed the joke here. I see there is a lot of conversation. Yes, Pixie, you can definitely watch the stream back on replay. I got lost in the mask in your challenge. Didn't work for me. I got lost in the mask. I don't know if you're talking about another challenge. I'm not sure. But feel free to get those question coming. RB, what's up? Thank you so much for being here and joining me. Okay, so let's go ahead and have a little recap on this challenge. I'm gonna have to be super brief because I want to try and show you as many as possible so you can go back and have fun. Here, all we did is to use shapes, lines, and Pathfinder and Shape Builders tool in order to create this fun portal. Actually, we used the rotate tool as well. So we started real quick by choosing a layers. Maybe let's work on the work in progress or create a new layer here. And then we used the rectangle tool to create the shape, and then thanks to our lovely widget tool we made by selecting only the corner actually that we would like to use. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and press the letter A on my keyboard so I can simply select with holding shift only the 2 top corners of our image. We can bring it inwards, and just like that, using the corner widget, we can change our sharp corners into rounded one. And then we're going to use real quick the letter N on your keyboard in order to create a line with a pencil tool and draw freehand. And what we've done here is simply to create a little line that will cross, making sure that it goes across our path of the portal. And then we used our rotate tool, and in a very special way. So instead of simply rotating around the center of our path, we created a new origin for our rotation by using the Alt or Option key shortcut. So simply by clicking at the origin, which is here at the center of our little portal, we created a new starting point for our rotation. And then all we've done is inputted a 30-degree angle, making sure that we have a little preview so it shows the movement. You can go ahead and move the dialog box. You can see the movement of our path. And here I want to remind everybody, because I had this question quite a lot, do not click on OK. If you click on OK, you're basically telling Illustrator to just rotate that path. Well, what we want to do here is to make sure to click on copy so we can retain the original and create a copy. And by doing that, not only we create a copy, but we have a prompt to go ahead and be able to duplicate this last action by using the Control D on Windows. That will be Command D on a Mac shortcut that will allow you to duplicate your last action. And as you can see, we're nearly there. We already create all the shapes that we need for our portal. All you have to do is to go ahead and click and drag to select everything that you have, and then simply from the properties panel we can go ahead and look at the Pathfinder options, which are also here. And the one that we're looking for is that divide. We want to go ahead and click on divide, and you will see here that the portal is pretty much there. All we're left to do now, it will be to click to each one of the single shapes, ungroup them, and then add the color, just like we did for this portal here. So I think that was the bread and butter, the beginning of our challenge. I need to go quick because time together during the challenges just fly by. So this challenge, I think it was quite interesting because we learned how to add textures and how to move by and how to edit them by using the appearance panel. So as you can see here, we have simply two fills within the same shape. This is just a rectangle, but thanks to the appearance panel, we were able to add this pattern, which is part of our library of pattern, and in particular the basic graphic textures. And as you can see, we can change it and we can swap it to something else, and that will not change the color underneath. Of course, you can change the color underneath simply by changing the actual color of the fill, if that's what you like to do. You can add more and also layer them. Remember what we've done also. Oops, looks like I've added two patterns. That's actually quite cool. I didn't think about the option of adding layering multiple pattern. That's really interesting. I'm just actually gonna leave it like that because it's fun. And if you want to, you can add another layer to it simply by creating another fill. So we can have the two patterns, but then at the end we can go ahead and also add the color. So we still have the two patterns. I'm gonna zoom in so you can really see them. But also we have a color, and you can keep going and adding new strokes and new fill as much as you like. Here we talked also about working with images. I think there was a little confusion in one of the comments about these videos for how to bring an image from stock. I use my libraries panel. Someone was talking about uploading images. You're not uploading images. You're either placing images by heading to the file top menu and then place, and this will allow you to browse your machine and bring inside Illustrator and place any image you like. Or what I did at the time was heading inside my Adobe stock library, and from here going over whatever pattern I want. I think it was leopard print, the one that I wanted, leopard print, or anything else. I think we did also oh, look how beautiful is this one. I think we also did an holographic tiger or something like that. It was quite exciting, but that's the way in which you can simply bring in the image. Of course, make sure to bring it underneath the layers, probably in this case. And what we've done in the challenge was to also layer it using blend mode in order to give transparency. So for example, here I can still bring in you know, another color which is now sitting underneath, and then I can use the print, and just again, as I said, from the properties panel, we can go ahead and use the opacity options to change the way in which the top image that we brought from Adobe stock and the background underneath interact. So blend mode will work by using the color, pixel, luminosity of the layer above, and creating a new remix with the layer below. So in this case, our layer below is the orange shape, and of course you can see that in this case, by using screen and lighten and any of the other amazing blending mode, we will be able to generate different effects using these two images that will be brought together and remixed thanks to our blend mode. I think we used a very third option. I'm just going to try to go as quickly as possible here, which was to take advantage of our 3D panel and make the most thanks to our substance and materials. Let's see, I can't see it in my workspace. It looks like it's taking a second to bring in the 3D panel, but if you head into the 3D panel, all you can do, here it is to head into materials. We're not transforming anything in 3D. We're just applying the wonderful materials that are part of our default subscriptions, and here it is, in order to merge them again and use them for our shape. So you can see we can bring in all these wonderful materials that are here available inside the 3D and materials panel under the materials tab. So you do not need to transform your shape into a 3D, it's already there. Talking about 3D, perfect timing. We created this lovely composition using 3D and 2D. I'm going to try to be as quick as possible with this one. We did go into experimenting the Memphis design style, which is characterized by bold colors and geometric shapes. So what we've done, for example, is to create, use the starter file, which I think it was, let's see, here it is. That was the shape of the starter file. And all we've done here is to literally use the extrude option in order to extrude it. We also made sure to have a fill. So we started to have a look at how the shape looks like extruded, so by adding depth to the original path. And then here, thanks to materials, we started to experiment and add materials, and then also use the brand new, actually more than brand new, is a revamped lighting panel in which you can really use very easily in order to change and move the light of your object. But most importantly, you can also add multiple lights, so you can light your object in different directions using different lights, which I think is a very amazing enhancement. So that was just one of the example. I think that we had a sphere as well, like just an ellipse that we quickly inflated. Make sure to select inflate both sides, because like that we will be able to transform this simple flat ellipse into an object. As you can see, if we just inflate it on one side, it just half of it is half of a circle, but by inflating at both sides we'll be able to have a full sphere. And then of course we can use our lovely materials in order to start to apply materials and of course play with the lighting. I would strongly recommend you to watch this stream. I really went in depth on how to create shapes. It just really blows your mind how much you can achieve using 3D. Much quicker here, we worked with a mood board, so I just showed you how to place images, how to place it inside your library by creating a new library inside the libraries panel. Again, every panel that I mentioned throughout my streams, you can find it under the window menu. And also here we learned how to pick up colors in order to create real quick a mood board. Now the difference here for this particular mood board was that I showed you also how to, instead of having messy images laying around like you perhaps will do when you start to bring different images, we also use the grid and shapes in order to create clipping mask. So what we've done, we overlaid, we actually create a full shape of the size of our mood board. Let me see if I got a few minutes to do that real quick. And I'm also actually gonna go ahead and close the files, because that's why Illustrator was crying a little, because we had all our challenges open and was like, that is a lot going on. It's a lot of 3D as well. Okay, so what I've done here was to have this main mood board, or the main rectangle of the size of my mood board, and then I used the path and split into grid to use a grid, making sure to click on the preview to have a look at it. That will be the grid that I was going to use for my pictures, and that allowed me then to go ahead and bring in the images, bearing in mind that they have to be behind this little square part of our graphic. And by selecting the image and the shape that is sitting above and using the Control-7 or Command-7 if you're working on a Mac, we will be able to mask and hide all the part of the image that we do not wish to use. So in that way we can be much more professional, making sure that the images that we're bringing inside of our mood board, they're actually contained into a more professional presentation. Here in Enhance Your Photo, we dived into the different effects. So we used the blend tool, we use the blending mode. So the blend tool is this one here. We basically merged two different shapes. I'm actually gonna do it with these fun shapes because it could be even more exciting. So I'm gonna use this shape over here and this upper shape over there. You can use as many as you want. I'm just gonna use two for to be practical. You can use it with text, you can use it with all sorts of graphics inside Illustrator, and you will be able to create, you will see a beautiful transition simply by blending them. So in this case, look at the gradient, gorgeous gradient that is between these two shapes. When you do it with text, it's pretty amazing because you can also edit the text. As you can see, everything stays editable. And of course, in this case, we have the color field, so we just see the color. But if we, for example, change these into strokes, you will see that this effect is even more exciting. Look at that. Look how mesmerizing and beautiful is this gradient that came out from this blend. And again, we also used the pen tool in order to trace object. I show you the most efficient way to work with the pen tool and the curvature pen tool, and I would strongly recommend you to go ahead and have a play to really transform your pictures without jumping into Illustrator. With the logo presentation, I showed you how to replicate and use artboard in order to create a carousel. So we made some math with Illustrator. You can always enter the artboard option. For example, if you want a full artboard that will cover up perhaps before of the Illustrator post. We know that each Illustrator post is 1080 by 1080, so we can go ahead and multiply it, for example, by 4, and simply by clicking away, we will know that automatically the width is 432 zeros, and you can click on OK, and that's exactly how you can change any artboard to size by doing math directly inside Illustrator. We have about 5 minutes to go, but challenge number 8, I'm sure we can do it. Here in the logo design, we used a simple shape to create a path. So by selecting the shape, going to object, path, and split into grid, kind of what we did with the mood board. So I think in this case we had 6 columns and 6 rows, making sure to click on preview so you can see it there. But also what we've done next is to transform these into a guide to be used as the blueprint of our design. Control 5 or Command 5 on a Mac is the shortcut to go in order to make this magic transformation. So now these are actually guides. They're not editable. They're not going to be printed, but they will work wonders when you want to create anything from a monogram to a logo. I think we created a tulip. You can create an initial. You can literally create whatever you want. Let's go ahead and do perhaps a very creative letter P, if we can do by using shape and then maybe using the widget tool. Look at that real quick. You can find a proportion easily simply by having the grid. During the stream, we actually, as I said, created also a pattern, and I'm not going to go into much depth because I want to make sure to hit the other challenges as well. I think I jumped the colors, but yeah, I definitely recommend this stream. The geometry logo is jam-packed with tricks. I also managed to squeeze the pattern making, how to make a pattern, which is fantastic. When you're creating a logo or a monogram, it's an extra marketing support for your brand to have those patterns that you can use on packaging, on garments, or everything that you want in any sort of marketing materials. Working with colors, we really explore different ways of creating color palette, and I'm gonna go ahead here and show you two of the most exciting one, and we also showed how to use them to recolor more artwork. So this was a foundation stream. We really had so much fun into diving into color and the usage of color in order to really speed up your workflow. Make sure that you have an understanding of which are the tools, panels that you can use to inside Illustrator to take advantage to your benefit when creating colors. So what we've done here, we take one of these images and then simply click on it, select it. That's how easy it is. From the object menu, we could go ahead. I had my mind absolutely blanked. I'm sure that it was from the object menu. Yes, I just couldn't see it. From the object menu, I couldn't see it, and I was like, where did it go? From the object menu, by selecting your image, all you have to do is to click on Create Object Mosaic, and you will see that the mosaic dialog box will come up. Here, all you have to do is to decide the spacing between the tiles, if you want any gutter, any spacing between the rows and the columns. And of course, you can retain the same size, or you can choose between color or gray. Of course, we are going to use color, so I'm going to go ahead and click on OK, and you see that the entire color is now transformed in pretty much the color palette that makes up the image, which is pretty neat. We have kept our rasterized image, so we both have the color palette and the original image. But the cool part here is that if you want to, by selecting that lovely pattern that you've created, you can go back into the folder, and here you can create a new color group from the selected artwork, and you will see that all the colors. So now if I go ahead and delete the color palette, I can go back and use it directly here from my swatches panel. So if I'm designing or I want to apply this specific color in order to match the mood of an article, of a magazine, of a branding or marketing material, you have it there inside your swatches panel. We talked also about on how to create selected colors that you can integrate with your library and then bring in and use within the Creative Cloud environment, also on Adobe Express, and really take advantage of this color palette. Another quick one is from the object menu, create gradient mesh. automatically allows you to transform your image into a gradient. You can keep it, as you can see, one row will just pick up the top and the bottom of the color and create a row in between. Create a color in between. Now, the more rows and the more columns you add, the more details you're referencing for your gradient. So you will see that the more rows and the more columns I'm adding, the more colors are coming up inside my gradient mesh. So you can really have a ton of fun with that. And it is unfortunately time to say goodbye. I can't believe it went so fast. The very last was a time-saving acts, so how to create actions. I'm sure that you can find it inside the landing page. I cannot believe that it's already that time to say goodbye. I had such a fantastic time. I wanted to say thank you to everybody for joining me throughout these 2 weeks. Thank you for being here with me. I look forward to see you very soon next Thursday with Design Fix here on Adobe Live. Don't forget that here we have so much fun going on, always both on the YouTube channel and on Behance. So tune in, grab a glass of water and come back for more fun on Adobe Live. And don't forget to subscribe on the Adobe Live YouTube channel to stay inspired with me and all these other amazing streamers part of Adobe Live. Thank you so much for being here with me. Submit your work on the Discord channel and I will see you very soon here on Adobe Live. But goodbye for now. Ciao, ciao.